Welcome back to the Go Bros YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working on the second part of the Dodge Journey camper build. In this video we are going to build the bed for the back of the vehicle. So we're going to start by mocking up the design and then building it and seeing how it works. I'll see you at the design. Now we did come up with two different ideas for designs. The first idea was an idea like this. Hopefully you can see it here on my phone. So it slides together. So that way it only takes up half the storage room in the Dodge Journey, and then when you want to sleep you can slide it out. But the issue with this is the floor in the Dodge Journey isn't entirely flat like a cargo van or like a moving van would be. So these legs would have a hard time sliding because of the height difference. So second design was to, instead of it sliding out where they overlap there, just use hinges. So it'll then fold up. So almost like a park bench it'll look like, but then it'll be able to fold out. So here's a drawing I did of it here, a real plain drawing, but you can see this will be 18 inches here, and then there'll be a hinge where this line is, and then this half will be able to fold over, so that way you only use up half of your storage space, and then you can fill that other half with your bags or whatever else you need to travel with. And that allows us to have the different height legs that the uneven floor will need to support it. Here's some measurements we took. Wheel well, so that way I know how far out I need to cut out around the wheel well so it'll slide up to it. The overall dimensions of the back hatch of the man van, so that way I won't have any issues sliding it in there. So the last thing I want is to make it too big and then it won't be able to slide in. And then the depth of the wheel well. So let's get looking at the lumber we got. So this is the wood we ended up using here. Funny story, on our way to pick up 2x4s we came across these pallets that are made out of 2x4s. So I've been ripping them apart here, getting the nails out of them, and we're going to use those to build the bed with, because we're trying to cut any costs we can to keep it a low budget. So I'm going to keep ripping these apart and I'll see you after I get them done. I'm to the point now where I think I have enough of the boards ripped off the pallet. So now I'm going to go ahead and trim off the edges of this plywood because they're kind of gross. Then I'm going to slice it up into the sections for the bed, so that way I'll have two halves and they can fold out. So that way I can build the frame around it with 2x4s. So I'm going to get these cut up and set on the floor, and I'll see you when I get that done. So this is what we're looking at here. This is the size of it at least. So it's 3 feet wide by 6 feet long. It'll be a little bit wider because once we put our hinges in here, we'll have a slight gap so the middle part of the hinge can stick through there. I'm gonna go ahead and I think rip some of these 2x4s because our plywood is so thick. Let's show this piece here. It's not really like a strength concern because this plywood's not going to move if you lay on it. So basically we just have to make a frame with this so that way the flat part will sit flat in the back of the man van. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of these ripped up here and see what we look like when we get back. This is what I've come up with so far for the frame. So we're going to have, where this long piece here is where the gap is in between where the hinges will sit. So we're going to have one support beam going all the way there, and then one on that side. And this one here, it'll get tipped down, and I'll only attach it to the one side, so that way it acts as a support when you flip the bed down. I'm gonna give that a go. I'm gonna get that screwed up here, and then I'll probably put the hinges on and see if the idea works. In theory this should work, but I'm worried about it binding up when the hinges slip down. So I'm gonna give that a try and see you back in a second. We made some pretty good progress. I got the piece on the bottom put on, hinges put on. So now when it folds out, it'll fill up the back of the man van. But then when you're traveling and you don't need the bed portion, you can just fold this over. So it'll only take up half the amount of room. So that worked as well as we hoped. And this support here on the bottom works well because I think I want to put a hand on this because it is kind of hard to grab with one hand. But when it goes down, then some of the pressure gets put on this bottom beam here, and it's not all on the hinges. So I'm going to go ahead and make the stands that this will sit on, so that way the uneven surface of the trunk portion of the Dodge Journey, it'll sit in there nice and flat, and then we can try it out. So I took the platform here to the man van and measured each one of these blocks up here and fit them into the right location. So if you look at them, they're kind of staggered, but that's how the flooring was. So then I got these all on here. They're nice and secure. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna go put it in the back of the man van and we'll get a look at it there and see how she looks. It's the next day. It got dark on me last night and it was too dark to film this last clip, so here we are. I have it put in and folds out as planned, and it's super stable. So now the next steps will be to install the heater probably over there, and then probably in the battery over there for the inverter. But that's going to conclude this video, and we'll see you in the next one.